Hey, hello, welcome back. I am Debbie Peterson of Getting to Clarity, and today we are talking about what worked, what didn't, and what's next. So this is about 2024 lessons for better, smarter, more effective leadership in 2025. So as this year comes to a close, I get into a reflective period and I find myself thinking about all the lessons that this year served up to me. There are wins, there are challenges, and then there are moments thinking, what am I supposed to learn from this? And I know I'm not alone in this. As a leader, whether you're managing a team currently or maybe you're just starting out on your leadership journey, this sort of reflection is how you're going to grow. But it's not just about looking back. It's about using what it is that you see to move forward with intention. So let me ask you this. What did 2024 teach you about yourself as a leader? What about your team? If you're not sure where to start this practice, I've got you covered. And we'll start with exploring what worked, what didn't, and how we can carry those lessons into 2025. So first, what worked in 2024? So before we get into the new year and change, let's acknowledge, let's celebrate what went well. So when things go well, when you have successes, acknowledging them, no matter how small, is so important. It is just as important as analyzing what didn't. So number one, what were your biggest wins this year? Make a list. Think about all the moments when you felt proud in your leadership. Maybe it was a tough conversation that you navigated well. Maybe it was a project that your team delivered and it was on time. Maybe it was keeping things running smoothly when things got really hectic. Two, what were the habits or strategies that helped with those, or habits and strategies that you had that made you a more effective leader? Did you start new practices like maybe regular check-ins with your team? Did you focus on building stronger relationships? So whatever it was that worked, let's make a note of it because we don't want to forget that. So take a little bit of time and write down at least 3 things that went well. Then ask yourself, how do I keep this in play for 2025? How do I double down on these strengths, these things that I'm already doing in 2025? What didn't work in 2024? Let's get honest about the struggles. This isn't about being hard on yourself. It's about recognizing your opportunities to grow. So, what felt harder than it needed to be? That's a great question. Maybe it was miscommunication with your team. Maybe it was you struggling to delegate. Or maybe you overcommitted yourself and you just spread yourself way too thin. So identify the areas where it didn't go as well or maybe you felt stuck. What about feedback? What feedback did you get this year? Maybe it had a little bit of a sting to it, but there's also a ring of truth. Feedback, even when it's tough to hear, and oftentimes it is a gift. Did someone point out something that you could improve? All right. How might you address that moving forward? So write down some challenges that you faced in 2024. Then ask yourself, what would I do differently if these situations came up again? So how do you leverage 2024's lessons in 2025? Well, I have a little system. It's called Start, Stop, and Stay. So it is about reflection with action. That is what moves the needle. So once you've identified what worked and what didn't, it's time to create a plan for 2025. So here are a few prompts to help you turn what you've learned into some action that will help you move ahead. Number 1, what is one thing you will stop doing in 2025? Maybe it's saying yes to everything, or maybe it's you've turned into a micromanager and you want to stop doing that. Think about what it is that you can stop, that you can let go of to create space for growth. 2, what is one thing that you will stay doing in 2025? Look back at your wins. What is one habit or practice that worked that you're going to keep around? 3, what is one thing that you will start doing in 2025? An opportunity. So consider strategies or goals that you would like to implement, something that you want to get better at. Maybe it's creating clearer communication channels. Maybe it's investing in your development or your team's development. Maybe it's focusing on your self-care as a leader, because besides, you can't lead anyone else until you're leading yourself first. So there is power in asking the right questions. It is one of the best tools that you have as a leader, is that ability to ask thoughtful, intentional questions, not just of yourself, but of your team too. So here are a few to try out in your next meeting or one-on-one. How about, what are you most proud of from this year? Get you thinking about what your wins are. What is one thing that you think we could do better as a team? How can I better support you in achieving your goals next year? These questions aren't just about gathering information, they're about building a relationship. It is about building that trust with your team. But how do we translate this great information into action next year? It's always getting into action. So here's a checklist to get you started. So your leadership checklist for 2025. To help put these things into action, here is a quick checklist that can help you kick off the new year. So number 1, reflect on your 2024 wins and challenges. Schedule 30 minutes to do this. Number 2, choose one thing to stop, stay, and start doing in 2025. Decide right now how that's going to happen, and then put these strategies into play right away. Number 3, share your reflections with your team. Share your plans with your team. It's a great way to be transparent and to lead by example. Ask for their feedback and their input back. And if necessary, schedule time for them to complete this exercise. 4, maybe you schedule regular check-ins throughout 2025 to revisit these lessons, to track the progress, to put in some accountability. Maybe it's a once a quarter evaluation to see how things are going. Now, what's your next step? I want to challenge you to take a step within the next 48 hours. Grab a notebook or open a new electronic document and just answer this simple question. What is one lesson from 2024 that you're going to use to make yourself better as a leader in 2025 for you and for your team? That's a great place to start. And of course, once you have your answer, you don't have to stop there. You can think about what you need to do to put it in action. And if you need help, I would be delighted. Head to my website, www.debbiepetersonspeaks.com, and check out tools and resources to help 2025 your best leadership year yet. So until the next time, here is wishing you all the clarity that you deserve to make the impact that you desire. Take care.